Hello. So for the last of Newton's three laws, I will talk to you about the third law. So Isaac Newton said the third law is for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is why if you're in a fight, if you punch somebody with a bare fist, you will also hurt your hand as well as the other person. So picture this, you've got a car crashes into wall, car will exert a force on the wall will exert a force on the car. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The context that we mostly see this in is in terminal velocity. Now, terminal velocity is top speed for an object. So if you're accelerating on a motorway and you were going to break the law and you're going to exceed the speed limit and keep on holding your foot down on the accelerator, eventually your car will reach a top speed. And this is where the resistant forces, such as friction, air resistance, will balance the engine force. So a car would not accelerate forever. The same can be said for a skydiver. So if we jump out of a plane, the force of gravity acting on the mass, so the weight of the person, so the weight of the person is a lot bigger than the air resistance. And therefore, the person accelerates due to this unbalanced force. And that is Newton's second law. Over time, that weight does not change because gravity and mass of the person are the same. But what happens is air resistance starts to oppose. So it's still accelerating, but it's not accelerating as fast. So it's getting faster, but a slower rate. And over time, this air resistance increases. So here we've got increasing air resistance. Now, terminal velocity for a skydiver is when the skydiver has reached their top speed. They're not going to go any faster. And that is where the weight is equal to the air resistance. So therefore your resultant force is 0, and therefore it's travelling at a constant speed. So that is Newton's third law in action. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. The air resistance has balanced out. This person will eventually open the parachute. That will cause rapid deceleration because the air resistance will be a lot bigger than the weight. So it'll start decelerating and it'll start slowing down. And that's due to the increased surface area of the parachute. However, something to consider is eventually, albeit at a slower speed, the forces will eventually balance each other out again. So they will slowly float down to the surface. So terminal velocity is an example of Newton's third law, and the first and the second. Thank you.